Welcome, Spartans, to Podcast Evolved, part of Evolved, your home for Halo. Podcast Evolved hosts original lore series and recaps last month's Halo news. That's what's going to happen right now because there's a shit ton of news. Holy fuck. I say shit ton. It's not really a shit ton. It's just like what happened was like, holy crap. So
Halo's on fire.
Yeah, like really on fire this time.
It's on fire,
so I'm your host today, David. Yeah, and with me today is the one and only. You've heard her. You know her. It's Krysta Brown.
Hi, I'm here for the Halo apocalypse.
Yeah, remember when Krysta was on Halo? Now she's back to say goodbye.
Yeah, back. We outlived Halo, guys.
Yeah, that was a lot. We joked a lot about that at the start of the year, but like, holy crap, it almost
becoming
like
very real.
Yeah. So today we're obviously going to cover. Microsoft has announced its 10,000 job layoffs. That's like global. There's rumors obviously that that's going to hit 343 and how that impacts Halo. And then we have the facts, so what we could actually find and what's been actually said. We'll kind of discuss that in about 2 seconds. So before we get started, obviously if you're new to the show, welcome. Evolved is a host to a variety of different flavor of shows. They're getting smaller. This is Podcast Evolved. This is our main show. We have a low series, so Infinite Impressions is obviously based on the various our takes on Halo Infinite. We have a previous low series, which is The Road to Infinite, Long Live the Road, with various other shows flavored in the Halo universe. Mission Debrief, Builds of Blocks, HS Pro Talk, Halo TV Plus, Halo Book Club, and Halo Headlines. And you can learn all about all of our different shows on our website, which is evolvedhalo.com. If you're a fan of the show, please do rate us and leave a review. We greatly appreciate all our feedback. If you'd like to take this moment to thank all our patrons, thank you guys for your support. You obviously make the show possible. You keep us going. We might not be going for very much longer. Oh my god. But thank you all for everything that you do to support us. If you're not subscribed, our patrons get a variety of exclusive rewards. They get early episodes, they unique swag, access to our podcast soundtrack. That's right, our very own Halo themed soundtrack. It's pretty dope. And our newest reward is an exclusive podcast show, I Would Have Been Your Podcast. So you can head over to patreon.com/Halo Evolved to learn more. The first of our new Patreon show is going to be recorded this week, so you should get that at the end of the month, I imagine. And also, if you'd like to support us, there's also an Audible link that we have that helps us out. It's also all the Halo novels are there. There's a crap ton of stuff over on Audible. So it's audibletrial.com/Podcast Evolved to learn more. So, last week on Halo, we're going to skip it, Krysta, because we were relying on Oren to talk to us here, and he dropped off. So, I did nothing.
Yeah, we've done. I doom scrolled on Twitter about Halo. That was about it. To be very, very honest, I haven't loaded up Halo Infinite in a long time.
I am probably right before the winter update was the last time I played. And I have not really felt the urge to go. Well, I haven't played many games, honestly, in general since then. I've generally taken a little bit of a break from gaming. Just kind of happened. Nothing really happened in particular. It just kind of happened that way, which is kind of weird.
It happens. Sometimes you need a break.
Yeah. And it looks like, Krysta, I might not have any choice. So,
oh no.
Go into the news. Okay. I'm sure you're quite aware of it, Krysta. I was a little bit slow coming back in, but I had heard all the posts and the hot takes and various other websites and what they were kind of saying and the various reports. So, Microsoft, what's actually happened Microsoft have said they're going to cut 10,000 jobs by the end of the third quarter of the fiscal 2023, and that's about 5% of its global workforce. It has about 221,000 people globally. So it's a big-ass company. They're saying that their cuts are their latest sign that layoffs are accelerating in the US technology sector as companies brace for an economic downturn. In a note to staff, the Microsoft chief executive, Satya Nadella, said customers wanted to optimize their digital spend to do more with less and exercise caution as some parts of the world are in a recession and other parts are anticipating one. So business speak for we're getting rid of people to save money.
Yep.
This has obviously hit 343. There's obviously a lot of rumors around about what this will kind of be, and different people are reporting different things. It's been rumored, obviously, or it's actually said that Joseph Staten will be moving to rejoin Xbox Publishing. So he's coming out of 343, but still within the Xbox umbrella. I think if you recall, I think he was only supposed to be short term anyway. I think he was only brought in to help. I'm not sure if he was brought in to permanently stay at 343. So
he
possibly
was really
his
there
work
to
is
get
done.
Halo Infinite over the finish line, but I think a lot of people were happy of him coming back and saw it as a
Oh
really
yeah,
good
big time.
turn for Halo.
Yes, yes.
And now that he is leaving again, people are pretty upset about that. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
like any news around 343, everyone's like, "Oh my god, Halo's dead." It's been like that like
Yeah.
all week, like every single thing. So I'm
It
sure
doesn't it
if
doesn't
you're
take
listening
much.
to this, you've seen the news. Take it with a grain of salt. You know, the
Yeah.
rumors are interesting, but
The rumors are interesting, and they're a great topic of discussion, I think, too. If you don't like panic over what the actual topics are,
yeah, just
it
just
can be
don't
interesting.
panic.
Yeah. So Joseph Staten has put out official thing. He's just said on Twitter, he said, "Hey folks, right now I'm 100% focused on helping people who lost their jobs find great new ones. The outpouring of support from other studios has been amazing. Please keep it coming. If you'd like a reference for someone you're considering, my DMs are open." So Joe, try and look after people. That's all he's really said regarding this news, which is good. Which is good because we don't know the numbers yet of who's impacted where, which is kind of scary, especially for those people. But I
The layoff,
imagine those people might know.
I believe the layoffs happened though.
Oh yeah, it's done. There's a few
Yeah,
people who've come
it's
out and
done.
said that they're gone, that they've moved, that they're moving one way or the other.
What I found kind of, and a lot of people found kind of ironic about this, is it was the same date last year that they announced their acquisition of Activision and Blizzard for like billions of dollars. So
That's
people were
very
like,
true, actually. Yeah,
oh. So,
they're
but
preparing for an
this
economic
isn't this
downturn,
isn't
but
like a
they're
Microsoft thing. If you look anywhere over the news, like the big tech companies are cutting down their staff. That's just something that is happening industry wide. This isn't like a
yeah
isolated case from Microsoft. And usually if it was, you would think, oh my gosh, the company's not doing well. That's not the case. Everyone's cutting down, unfortunately, because there's predicted to be a global recession. So companies start cutting off what they
bracing.
think
Yeah,
are unnecessary jobs. So it's unfortunate for those people who probably did very good work.
but got cut.
But yeah,
Which
it
is kind of a bummer.
happens. It's part of the industry. It's very unfortunate, but it is an entertainment based industry mostly. So
Yeah, it just feels big because it's a big number. Big like
it is.
10,000 feels like a lot. I mean, globally that'll impact. It was on the Irish news here because there's about 3,500 people based in Ireland that work for Microsoft. So obviously, I think they've even said officially like those were very minimally hit compared to other countries. So I imagine there's a lot of staff probably in the US that probably got hit by this mostly.
Yeah.
Is what I'm guessing. Okay, so also one of the most interesting thing I saw this on GameStop is where I'm referencing this next piece. This is where like Halo is on fire kind of thing. So there was a report has claimed that a longtime Halo 343 developer is been taken off active development of the franchise, and that new games in the series will be created by third-party studios. According to a Halo leaker, Bathrobe Spartan, I've not heard of this person, but apparently he has a good track record. This was translated by Metro. Microsoft's mass layouts have hit 343 Industries hard, and will see up to a third of its workforce laid off. It's a huge number, obviously. And then this is also mentioning that Joseph Staten was leaving to go back to Xbox Publishing. So there's loads more kind of stuff there. Kind of like, go on, Krysta.
I don't hate the fact that they might go more towards a publishing stance or just overseeing projects. Because, I mean, to be fair, Halo Wars 2 is probably one of the best Halo things that have come out in the past couple years.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing for a company to focus more on overseeing things and making sure the story is good and the lore is good, and having someone else, take the brunt of the development. I mean, that's not it's bad for the people who lost their jobs, of course, but it's not necessarily a bad thing for Halo, but it does mean that it might be a long time until we see another Halo again, which is very depressing.
It's scary. I mean, from that perspective, yeah, it is very interesting to think of, okay, if 343 aren't doing it, then maybe they can outsource to third parties. That's interesting. Like different companies, different flavors on Halo coming from different places. That is kind of exciting. You obviously want 343's oversight there. You want somebody's oversight over continuity, style to make sure that it's kept in. Obviously, coherency is very important, and I imagine that's maybe what they're going towards. But like, it's almost like how they produce external media, where like they outsource their books to other authors, they're not written in house. Do you know what I mean? And someone just supervises that content.
And I mean, how many developers does Call of Duty have? There's like 4 different studios that develop different Call of Duties. I mean, it's not unheard of for big franchises to, put the workload on a large amount of people with different divisions and different companies and a lot of different people involved in it. I mean, in the long run, we might be getting more Halo in the future, but we have to wait.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. This could totally just bring about more Halo more often, which is, I think it's a good thing because we don't get a lot of it. And what we do get is kind of contentious on its quality and say what you like about the things that you like 343 that they do. So someone else coming in is kind of exciting. But obviously a major bummer if you just lost your job because they're outsourcing Halo. But again, this is rumors.
All rumors.
These are reports and stuff, because our next thing is that
is a developer conference this coming week, I think, on like Thursday or Wednesday. I think it's the 25th. There's like a bit of like a Microsoft.
The Microsoft one.
I don't know if they're going to be talking about this at all. They kind of have to address it, I would think. So
I don't think they're going to do it there because 343 weren't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be there. They actually gave a list of who's going to be it's the oh god, I can't
I know
remember.
Bethesda's going to be there for Starfield and
yeah, that's right.
So that'll be interesting to see if Microsoft even talks about the layoffs or anything like that. So we might be getting at least some crumb of official news from that.
Yeah, all they've said is that they are going to... Halo put out a picture on Instagram and on Twitter. And it just says, Halo and Master Chief are here to stay. 343 Industries will continue to develop Halo now and in the future, including epic stories, multiplayer, and more of what makes Halo great. This is what Pierre has put out, the studio head. So that's the only official...
PR, like, it's such a short statement because PR was panicking because of all of the speculation that was happening on Twitter. They're like, oh shit, we need to get something out really quickly. It needs to be short so we can get it approved as quickly as possible. Internally they were like, we have to say something. Everything's imploding.
Yeah, absolutely. They got to do it. And that developer conference it's going to be Arcane Austin, so that's Redfall. Mojang Studios, so that's Minecraft. You have Turn 10 Studios, who are doing Forza. I think they're also doing Fable? That's Playground. You have ZeniMax Online Studios with Developer Direct, so extended gameplay features.
That's for ESO, yeah.
Yeah. So we're talking like Elder Scrolls, Forza, Minecraft, and Redfall. That's and obviously probably Starfield will have a bit of time. That's what they've said in deep dive.
Maybe they might do a special conference for Starfield, though it's getting worrying how little we've seen of that game.
Yeah, what they've said is to dedicate a proper amount of time for a deep dive into Bethesda games to it's like a Starfield standalone show is in the works. Okay. So they're going to do something separate just for Starfield, and I don't think anything from 343 will be mentioned at this thing. To be perfectly honest,
I mean that the studio's going to be reeling for quite a while, trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It sucks. I mean, we already have seen, like, Halo Infinite obviously didn't do great when it comes to long-term support of that platform, so it's been a bummer, man. I mean, I loved the campaign. I loved multiplayer for, like, the first couple weeks, but then, everyone kind of moved on. They did,
and we were expecting... Well, here's the last official thing, right? There's been an internal email, sent out to 343 staff by Pierre Heinz. He said the company has made the difficult decision to restructure elements of our team, which means some roles are being eliminated. He wrote that the studio will continue to support Halo Infinite's multiplayer and live service elements. Joe Staten, the creative director and Halo veteran who joined in 2020, will help steer Halo to the finish line, will depart an outfit and rejoin Xbox broader publishing division. So that was like an official email that wasn't sent public, but was sent within internally to 343 staff. So that's kind of the official stuff we have. And from that, we're kind of guessing, okay, they're trying to control the message as much as possible in terms of where the layoffs have been hit and happened. So we know that like 343 Industries survives heavily on like contractor and external staff. That's always been a problem and been like something we've commented on of being that potentially being a problem with 343. So maybe a bunch of that staff, those contractors, are no longer getting their contracts renewed. Who knows how that restructuring will affect content going forward. We imagine they'll be pretty steady on their multiplayer support, but everybody is theorizing now, especially with Joe moving, that any single player based content for Infinite is gone.
They've only ever mentioned multiplayer since this has begun. Obviously they haven't had a lot of time to make a statement on single player, but it is looking like the campaign has kind of is not a priority anymore. So no, and like, to be honest, they never officially said anything about single player DLC. We just assumed this was coming because of the live nature of what games are now, and we just made the assumptions based on what are they working on next, who's working on what. They have such a big team. The map, the game seems like it's ready for like DLC content to just slot right in, but maybe not. Maybe that's not a thing now, and that our next Halo story from in video game form may not even be from 343. It could be, and that's, God, how many years away could that be? Do you know what I mean? We're probably another 4 to 5 if they have to go through another development cycle.
Yeah, for sure. Like whatever they're working on, and then there was the rumors of the moving engine, and I know certain Affinity are supposedly still working on a significant new mode for Halo. So that's either multiplayer, maybe it's Battle Royale, or maybe it's a Spartan Ops style thing, maybe it's PvE. That could be a way to deliver story into the game. That would be awesome. But we don't really know. And I think certain Affinity are very much multiplayer people, so maybe it's not story based. Maybe it is something totally new for Halo multiplayer.
What are we gonna do for like 4 to 5 more years?
Oh man, it's gonna be a struggle. Get ready for your yearly podcast.
I mean, I think the best thing for Halo to do right now is to just kind of go silent for a little bit and figure everything out and restructure, do all that kind of stuff. It's not good for us, but Halo might need to hibernate for a little bit again.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression too. Like whatever they were working on probably gets shelved, and then they try to, I guess, restructure on whatever it is they're going to do going forward, and then get that messaging out at some stage this year. I don't know. They didn't have anything. I don't think 343 had anything lined up to announce. I guess the next season is coming in March, I want to say, is it? I think it's March 17th or something like that.
The seasons haven't had that much of an impact in player numbers, so...
That's true. But they were still delivering, I suppose, regular content. There is story content based within the seasons. So that's probably all we're going to get of that is of varying quality. Whatever you might think about it. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, no, I don't like story in my multiplayer.
I hear you. Yeah. I don't know. Who would you want to see make some Halo games, Krysta?
Oh man, I have no idea. Just anyone.
Give me that. Yeah, anyone.
Anyone. We just need Halo stuff.
I know. I mean, there's the Activision merge, and then there's obviously lots of talks of that could potentially open up studios to do more, and maybe. But that's crazy. Like, who knows when that'll go final? And how long
There's the, I
things that
mean,
are
the
in the
the
works
problem
come
with
to fruition there.
the problem with an acquisition like that is Microsoft literally has to go to most countries and be like, "Hello, is this approved? Please." I know the UK is pushing back on it on the
That's
acquisition,
right,
so
yeah.
they have to go through that. It just becomes an issue of monopoly laws and stuff like that. So, I mean, an acquisition like this is really tough for it to go through, especially with all the acquisitions that Microsoft has had. So,
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but this is a thing. This is the world.
yeah, gaming is going in an interesting direction, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jesus.
So,
Who knows what it's gonna look like when they're done, when it's all said and done.
it's such a bummer, man.
I know,
Such a
it's
bummer
so
of an
strange, man. It's just,
episode.
I mean, it's January. Do you know what I mean? This is it, and we just did like a meeting on discussing what we're going to do for the year. Where we're already struggling, and we got new things to come. We've run out of books. We've run out of comics. The show is what it is. That probably isn't going to come out this year. We literally have no new content on the horizon other than Troy's book and Kelly's book, and that's it for the year. That's all we got, Krysta.
Oof. How are we going to stretch that into like 32 podcasts?
Yeah. I mean, the truth of it is, Josh and Will will probably keep going. Have Pro Talk stuff that won't end. I imagine that'll consistently put out content there. We have some small stuff for Mission Debrief. But after that, we're going to be looking for a new show. Aaron's going to have to do the cooking show. I think that's it. Like, I think that's
Yay! I'm excited
pretty
for the
much
cooking
decided
show.
that. I know.
Is it going to be like, have you seen those cooking shows on YouTube where the girls are like not wearing much and it's weird? It's like, this one chick is just wearing an apron and that's it. You don't see anything, but it's still like, oh my god. So maybe Aaron's gonna do that.
Yeah, but
He'll only wear an
fees.
apron.
It's the potential, Krysta, that gets people excited.
And it's not gonna be the full body apron. It's just gonna be the apron that ties around the waist and like goes down.
We can get one of them for Aaron.
Yeah, we'll get one of them for him. That'll be a good show. I know you're starting up an Assassin's Creed podcast, so
years in the making, Krysta. Absolutely years.
We've been talking about this forever.
Yeah, it's so like it's so funny when this got announced. Like my comment was like, oh, thank God Ubisoft have their shit together because they're in no way like on fire over there every fucking month. Is there not some crazy horror story of what the hell's going on over there?
I feel like most game studios are like that right now. There's just a lot of issues.
It feels like it. It feels like there are a lot of people out there struggling.
So we'll see. I'm sure we'll have stuff to talk about, whether it's Halo or not. We'll talk. We love talking.
We'll do the talky talks. I mean, we got peoples. We'll make content. It'll be fine.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah. So our most recent episode was like the year in review for like 2022, and that was a pretty good episode. There's a lot happened when you like put the year together, all in one place. It's kind of interesting. And like our predictions are obviously ridiculous now. So like a week ago they were okay. So some wild shots, but like absolutely none of them have any scope to happen now if 343 is restructuring, and their content's going to be focused mostly on the multiplayer support. So that's it. A big fat zero across the board everywhere for our predictions. Have you any Halo predictions for the year, Krysta? Is there anything you can think of?
Oh god, I don't think we're getting anything. We get nothing. No Halo for us. Yeah, maybe the books come out, but I know there's been development issues with the books. I know Troy got sick and had to delay his
That's
book,
true,
so.
yeah.
Who knows if they're going to even invest in books in the coming future, especially if they have no idea where they want the story to go because they restructured it. How are they going to write books? So
yeah, that's very true. I mean, they've definitely scaled back on their media and on their content. Like maybe that's the show eating up the money and the limelight. I'm not sure, but like obviously we went through multiple books and comics and short stories and compilations to 2 books, and these might have been in the works for a while because obviously books take time. Kelly and Troy are both obviously very well loved within the Halo extended universe and fans, so they're, I would say, relatively safe bets for in terms of like the Halo community and what we're gonna like. And in terms of the story, unless they start going back again and telling stories in timelines that don't necessarily matter anymore because they won't influence Halo going forward, we could see things like that happening. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, there's just a very big question mark on Halo right now.
Yeah. Oh my god. Krysta, anything else you need to say or anything else you can think of that's going on in the world?
No.
Fair enough. Obviously, people try not to panic. None of these has been officially corroborated. We'll kind of see what happens, I'm sure, throughout the year. New Halo will come in one form or another, I'm sure. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of it.
We gotta wait and see at this point. It's a waiting game.
It is a waiting game. So we were supposed to put out a book club this weekend, or we were going to record that. So it obviously got pushed for this way more important news. So you'll be listening to this episode before you get the last of the book clubs. But I just want to say thank you all for joining us. Like we mentioned up at the show, you can find all of our episodes on our website, haloevolve.com. There's a unique feed for most of our show types, but everything's also on the main feed. If you want to listen to everything all in one feed, follow Halo Podcast Evolved on your favorite podcast service of choice and leave us a review, please. Once again, another shout out to all our patrons. Guys, thank you so much for making all this possible. It's patreon.com/Halo Podcast Evolved. I hope you like our new show that is coming to you. I would have been your podcast. It's not Halo themed other than really the title, so it's kind of a catch-all of we'll be chatting about like anything and everything. It'll be very patron based. So you guys will determine what we talk about and stuff like that. We still have the voicemail function. Should you wish to leave us a voicemail, it is 205-EVOLVED, which is 205-386-5833. Best of luck figuring that out if you're not in because I don't know how to call it. And with that, I've been your host today, David. And until next time, evolve.